Well, hello, and welcome to Morning Coffee and Morning Ball Toss with Cruella. I'm Maddog Merv, and well, it's a beautiful morning. Let's see what we got going on the channel, shall we? Welcome to Morning Coffee.
Maddog Merv today.
Got our French roast this morning
Bagel.
again. No wonder I'm a big fat guy. I mean,
And then
holy
they put
cow.
I always had a schmear.
A schmear.
He's probably going for bagels. He's trying to steal.
Oh my gosh, I can't even believe it.
I have no clue.
And I got a bunch of chores to do. Oh, who wants to do that? So for today's shout out, I don't really have much in the way of anything new that I've been watching. So I'm going to go to an old favorite, and that is Pete's Model Car Customs. Check him out if you haven't already. I know a lot of you guys have checked out his channel and subscribed to him. Pete's a great guy, and he's very entertaining. I find him very entertaining. His narrations are great, and Pete has some really interesting builds. And when I say interesting, he has some creativity that will inspire others to either do the same type of thing or do something similar. And so check him out if you haven't already. Pete's Model Car Customs. And while we're talking about it, just a reminder that Family 4x4 and more, check out that channel if you're following the progress on the Mustang. I know that he's been doing some video work on the different work that's going on with the Mustang, and he'll have an update out before too long. But I can tell you that the Mustang now has some shoes. Actually has radial TAs on it. Yay! That was a fun story that I'll share another time. But anyway, it has some tires. The brakes are all on it. We still need to get them bled. The hood is back on it correctly. What else? What else? What else? There's something else missing that we've gotten done. He's gotten done. And we're now looking at floorboards. I just ordered some new floorboards, so they should be here within a week, and hopefully by the end of August we have this thing wrapped up to the point where it's a rolling vehicle. So but anyway, follow Family 4x4 and more for the work on the Mustang. So last week we did that piece on the old guy at the cemetery with the ghost of one of his comrades. And that was a very emotional piece for me to put together, as is pretty much everything that has to do with my dad's war years and his service. And it was something I never got to do with him, but it's something that I wanted to do. You know, there's always these things you want to do and you say you're going to do, and then time just runs out and it doesn't get done. And that's kind of what happened here. We tried to get my dad on the Freedom flight before it was too late, and unfortunately, it got too late. His health issues, and we weren't able to. We had everything arranged, and it was all ready to go, but there was a change in his health right before it was time to take off, and he never did make the Freedom flight. So, you know, if you think you want to do something for a family member that's older, you want to talk to them about something, you want to get some information from them, you want to travel with them somewhere, get going and do it, because you never know when time's going to run out. So this piece was fun. It was emotional, and it meant a lot to me. I did a little bit of research beforehand. I've really tried to find out more information on this Ranuzzi that was a lieutenant, a brevet, I guess, lieutenant, if you will. He received a battlefield commission, and I've been unable to find pretty much anything about him anywhere, which is unfortunate. I've done a lot more research, though, and found a lot more information about the 35th Infantry Regiment, 25th Division, and what they did on Guadalcanal, which, by the way, on Guadalcanal, Okay, you hear about the Marines and what they did on Guadalcanal, and it was amazing. The Army comes along and mops up. Well, one of the units that was part of the mop-up operation was the 25th, and the 35th Infantry actually had a couple medals of honor come out of Guadalcanal, and also in the Philippines for actions that were done by members of the division. So I never knew that, but now I do. Hope you guys got something out of that. I'll continue doing some figures from time to time. As you guys know, I suck at it, but I still am going to try. So on the kit hoarder stash, we still have some things to look at. Probably, let's see, I've got some more figures. I've got some that are resin. I've got some that aren't. I've got a neat story about a company that I'm gonna give a plug to because of their great customer service. So we've got stuff coming up on the stash this week. I'm just not 100% sure exactly which thing we're gonna look at this week, but it'll probably have something to do with figures. Probably, I say probably. For tomorrow's main show, we're going to be looking at, what are we going to be looking at tomorrow? Oh, the big boy. So the big boy came through a couple weeks ago. Took my grandkids up to, a couple of my grandkids up to see it. Had a wonderful time. It inspired me to finish mine. I've got a Revell HO scale model of it that I had done some modifications to, and it was one of the first videos I put out like 5-6 years ago, and it's been pretty popular. It turned out pretty good, I'll tell you that, but it's missing one key component that I still hadn't put on yet, and that is these signal lanterns on the front. I was able to secure some aftermarket, not exactly the same, but close. And so I'm going to put those on and kind of put it in a little diorama type of thing. So check that out tomorrow's show. The Kit Hoarder Stash, what did we do this last week? I want to say it was, oh, I know what it was. It was the livestock. That's what we did. We looked at the livestock, and I mean, it's such a fun little kit. You'd think, well, gosh, what am I ever going to do with this? Well, you saw what I did with the dogs. You know, 1/35th scale Doberman's neat, but I got a bunch of them already. But the head and the ears and the sleek muscular body, that sounds like Cruella to me. All I need to do is paint black and white instead of, you know, the brown and black. And a healer is smaller than a Doberman, yes, but a healer also in 1/25th scale, I think it's about right. And put her in the back seat of that car, and it looked, I mean, it looked right. You know, the lab, it's hard to paint labs, but that one turned out pretty good, and the hound turned out pretty good. I think I do need to dull coat the hound again, though. But anyway, they made good 25th scale, you know, either young dogs, puppies, or, you know, full size, depending on the breed. But they also work really good in the 35th scale. As far as the cows and chickens and, you know, ducks and geese and all the other stuff that come in the two different livestock sets, if you're doing a diorama, great. If you're doing something for kids for school and, you know, need some pioneer field, you got a couple of cows or something, great. I mean, I don't know what I'll use these for. Maybe when I do that goulash cannon, maybe I'll want to have a couple of horses tied up nearby. And there you go. I got the horses already. So, who knows? Who knows what we'll do? But anyway, it was fun. I hope you guys got something out of it. Again, I got more figures and more of this kind of nonsense that we'll be reviewing in the future. This week was really busy with doing some cleaning out in the doghouse and organizing, getting some of my Pacific 1/35th scale stuff together, some of my Japanese stuff, some of my Sherman stuff. There's a mini contest coming up at our local IPMS group, and so I wanted to finish up a couple of my Pacific Shermans that needed a little bit of detail. I had a friend who has a 3D printer print out. I bought the STL file, and then he printed out, which was cheap, and then he prints out these really cool hatch covers for and screens in 35th scale for these Pacific Shermans. And I'm tickled, because trying to do those in photo etch, oh my gosh, what a nightmare. So I'm really excited to have these and get these put on the appropriate kits, because I've got a couple that are built and they look nice, but they aren't accurate because they don't have, you know, these screens that were actually on there. So anyway, I've been busy with that this week. Been busy doing some more work on some figures, and I picked up a couple of good books, and maybe we'll look at those in the review section. You know, the Kit Hoarder Stash. Maybe we'll look at those soon, because these are some pretty neat Osprey books that are really helpful to me. So anyway, I'm going to let you guys go. There's the update for the week, and I hope you guys have the rest of a good one. We will see you tomorrow for the big boy.